Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well and welcome to another video. It is time for some brainstorming. You probably know already because of the title of the video that today I'm going to look into and analyze polyphonic textures that you can hear but not see immediately when reading the score. If you find this content interesting, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any new uploads. Just to put everyone on the same frequency, let's start by defining very briefly what polyphonic music is. Basically, it is a composing style that employs at least two different voices that have the same degree of importance in regards to their function and that act independently. However, they are related within each other due to the harmony utilized. Watch this video here to get a better understanding on how you could develop your music voicing practice and make your interpretations more interesting. Sometimes music is difficult to define whether it's polyphonic or homophonic. Music that is strictly polyphonic, such as an invention by Bach, for example, is very easy to analyze because all voices are written in canon and they share musical material among each other. Let me start by showing you how easy it is to recognize all voices in a two-part invention. As you can see, on the piano it's much easier to recognize visually what happened with both hands in comparison with the guitar version. In this case, you hear both voices as clearly as you see them on the score, but music is not always notated as explicitly as we would like it to be, either due to the limitations of notation system, or maybe because back then composers and musicians had a very clear concept of music voicing, and it was not necessary to be very obvious when writing music. Therefore, it is important that we take a look at the score and try to extract these hidden melodies or voices to be able to conduct and perform the music as a composer intended. Most of the times these hidden melodies are integrated in a chord or arpeggio, so it might be helpful to color the voices that are not notated as an independent voice, so whenever we practice we can visualize it better. Let's use an example where voices are not notated separately. On the prelude of the third cello suite by Bach, BWV 1007, all you see is continuous arpeggios, so it might seem that we are only playing broken chords throughout the piece, but we are in fact playing three independent voices that together make this chord-like texture. And yet, none of this is immediately visible when we read the score, right? Therefore, we should always define what is what even before starting to create our own interpretation of the piece. For the sake of the analysis, it is very helpful to rewrite the music in separate staves in order to treat the different voices independently and to have an overview of all the musical features involved. I picked up another example, but this time from the classical period. The Opus 21 No. 1 by Carcassi is very simply composed and it seems to be an accompanied melody with a typical basso alberti, also very commonly used by Mozart. Just by looking at the score, we naturally define the musical texture the following way. The upper part is a melody and beneath is accompaniment. At certain moments, the lower voice has also a singable melody. Check this out. Rather interesting, right? However, just like the Prelude by Bach, these melodies are not written separately from the accompaniment, so at first it looks like all is the same. But whenever we interpret this kind of texture, we should make a distinction between accompaniment and moving voices. In the beginning of this piece, it might become more interesting if you keep a separation between the basso alberti and the upper melody, by playing always PI PI very softly while the melody is present and clean. Afterwards, when the lower hidden melody comes, we can try to play this upbeat and colorful melodic bass without stealing the importance of the higher voice, as it still is the singing part. See it as a solo of the counterbass. It's time to shine. Well guys, this was it for today. If you would like to have more insight on music analysis about today's topic, I've made a premium version of this video as well that you can access by using the link in the description below. Let me know in the comment section if you already have found any of these hidden melodies before and in which pieces did you find them. I'm curious about it. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you want to see more of this content. Have a great day and goodbye for now.